Good day everyone. This video is a discussion about plan for school fish processing and packaging. Like any natural resource, the supply of fish can vary from glut to scarcity. To avoid starvation, humans have learned to preserve fresh fish so that it stays edible for long periods of time. This is particularly important in communities that have no other source of protein. The following list is not exhaustive. It contains the most common methods of preserving fish. First, dry salting, hot smoking, canning, drying, pickling, brining, or wet salting, cold smoking, drying, and freezing. First, salting and sun drying preserve fish. The oldest methods to preserve fish are by salting or dehydrating the food. Salting fish dries the flesh because it draws out moisture and so prevent bacterial growth. Drying outdoors under the sun is possible in some places. In colder climates, water is removed using dehydrator machines. This can be done at a domestic level as well as in large industrial-sized dehydration plants. When done properly, both sun-dried and salted fish can remain edible for many months. Before cooking, the fish is rehydrated by soaking overnight in potable water. Number 2. How to preserve fish by freezing. Freezing preserves fresh fish by locking any water present in a solid form. This makes the water unavailable to bacteria growth. Unfortunately, the side effects of freezing, fish mushy in texture. To limit this type of cell damage, fish should be frozen using a process known as quick freeze drying. The benefits of freezing versus salting or drying methods. First, frozen fish tends to be more popular with consumers than salted and dried fish because freezing does not affect its flavor. Frozen fish can be cooked straight from the freezer with little loss of quality compared to the fresh product. Salted and dried fish, on the other hand, needs to be soaked overnight in water to allow the flesh to rehydrate. Even if the soaked water is changed several times, the fish still retains a salty taste that it isn't found in fresh fish. Number 3. Reduced oxygen method or vacuum packing. Freezing, drying, and salting are not the only ways that fish can be preserved for later eating. Vacuum packing of fish is often carried out in conjunction with one of these methods, but it can be done on its own. Vacuum packing is simple to do at home with the correct equipment. A vacuum sealer machine sucks all air out of the vacuum bag and then heat seals it. It's easy to use and small amount for domestic use. Once bugged, the fish will stay fresh for up to a year in your freezer. Hot smoking means curing fish by smoking at a temperature of 70 to 80 degrees Celsius at some stage in process in order to cook the flesh. Hot smoked fish products do not require further cooking before consumption. Brining is a technique of soaking meat in a dilute salt solution until the dissolved salt permeates the muscle tissue. You're shooting for a final concentration of about 0.5% salt throughout the meat week compared to curing. The cold smoking is a method of preserving fish where the ambient cooking temperature stays in the range of 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 12 hours. The flesh loses some of its moisture and becomes denser without being cooked. How are fish packaged? Packaging materials used for frozen fish is mainly polyethylene, either as pre-made bags or wraps, which are then packed into wax top-like cartons. Frozen fish are also overwrapped in polystyrene trays for display. Individual fillets are packed in cellophane. This is usually when we buy fish in the market. Most fishes are packed in cellophane. That's all for this video. I hope you learned something. That's all. Thank you.